Now, we have an update on the EA deal to Saudi Arabia. EA shareholders approve overinflated $55 billion sale to Saudi Arabia. Paying $210 a share, the sale will leave EA in extraordinary debt and owned by a murderous regime. Woohoo! Just when you think that EA can't get any more evil, they can. Thank God they don't have the license or the exclusivity license to Star Wars anymore. Maybe they'll finally get rid of the exclusive license to Madden. Maybe Roger Goodell will finally wake the fuck up, even though fans have been bitching to him for years now. But you want to know why I don't think he will? Money. Okay. Anyways, EA shareholders are clearly keen on a buyout, no matter where the money comes from. The sale that would see the 43-year-old company, holy unk, become majority owned by the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund, PIF, could go ahead by the beginning of 2027, pending government approval, now that the public investors have voted in favor of the deal. And government approval might be or might not be too tricky, given Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, would also benefit from 1.1% of the deal. Oh, so it's fucking over. It's literally going to go through. Unless they push this to another presidency somehow, unless they're like, hold on, we need to do some more voting on this. It's pretty much a go for them. The full deal will see EA become a private company 37 years after it originally went public, with ownership unveiling split between three groups. The vast majority, an enormous 93.4%, will be owned by the murderous regime of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman via Saudi Arabia's sovereign... brain fart. Wealth fund that will leave 5.5% going to California private equity firm Silver Lake and 1.1% for Affinity Partners, Jared Kushner's investment firm that is primarily funded by Saudi Arabia. If completed, it would mean EA stockholders will receive an enormous...
Chris, how do we feel at Joe Bartolozzi?
Joe Bartolozzi? I fucking love that guy. It would mean EA stockholders will receive an enormous $210 per share. Wow. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, dude, again, just when you think EA can't get any more evil, they find a way, dude. They find a way. I mean, it would be cool that they'd be privately owned, so like shareholders wouldn't be yelling at them. Probably as long as the sports games do well for Saudi Arabia, then they'll be good. They won't have to push so many microtransactions, although I'm sure that these people want to get their money's worth out of it, okay? And gaming shit actually might die. Yeah, dude. Well, it's not Trump's. He doesn't own it, but his, what was it? Son-in-law? So. Oh, you and Charlie had a goon session in DMs? Oh, W, man. Also, Jay, how's it going, bro? Exclamation sex with Chris. What the fuck? Okay, let's continue. Sorry, this is a little bit shorter too, which is perfect. As of 2:03 p.m., EA shareholders have officially approved EA's $55 billion sale to consortium led by Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund. The deal will next need to receive approval from government regulators. So what are the Democrats trying to get a hold of right now? Is it the House or the Senate that could possibly flip in midterms or the next election? I wonder if them getting a hold of that would in any way affect this. But I mean, you know, not to get too political, but we have seen Trump basically say, fuck the courts already. So yeah. Both? Are they able to get both? If they flip some more seats and shit? That would be pretty fire. I think it's always good in America, especially right now, if one party has one and one party has the other, and then the presidency is like whatever, or if the party who, well, with this regime, I would prefer if both were democratically held, again, because I'm not a big fan of the Democratic Party. You guys have heard me bitch about them constantly and say I don't fuck with any Democrat politicians other than Bernie Sanders, Zoran, and AOC, okay? But with this regime to be able to have a little bit of a pushback. Yeah, but also, you know, who fucking knows? We would probably just get stuck in a back and forth, you know, whatever issue again. Anywho, while this will make for a nice payday for shareholders, which obviously includes EA's management, it will also leave EA saddled with a 20 billion in debt from paying off the ludicrously inflated share price, putting its credit rating in the sewers, and it's hard to see how the company can sustain that. Then, of course, there's the very significant matter of the company being almost entirely owned by a state that kills people for being gay or trans, murders journalists, and denies women many basic rights. Yeah. That is not swag money militia, or 6-7, as the youth would say. EA employees obviously have good reason to be fearful.
I feel like at this point it's kind of voting for either evil politicians or literal Nazis who want to murder women and immigrants.
Hey, they don't want to murder women. They just want to take away their rights, okay? They want the women to stay at home and be housewife, okay? Back in my day, the women stayed at home to raise the kids. Which, you know, if whichever woman feels called to do that, I have homies that do that. That's awesome, dude. That's great. But I think that women should also have the ability to do whatever the fuck they want because they're human beings. But yeah, dude, it's really picking the lesser of two evil at this point in America, which is really sad. We get off on a whole tangent about that and how it's lame as hell that literally in pretty much every election you're picking the lesser of two evils unless you have like a shining star like Zoran, you know? You're like, holy shit. And still Zoran didn't almost lose, but I thought he was going to blow Cuomo way more out of the water. But, you know, whatever, dude. EA employees obviously have good reason to be fearful, no matter how much the PIF may exist to whitewash the country's actions. And there's no way of knowing how the ownership might affect everything from basic company policy to what's included in games. Given the precautious state in which the deal would leave an impossibly indebted EA and the likely exodus of both those let go in attempt to combat crippling costs and those who leave in disgust, it seems extremely unlikely EA could survive in any recognizable form. Yeah, I was watching Mr. Matty talk about it, and he was saying that he's afraid they're going to try and either sell off BioWare or just straight up kill BioWare, which is very scary. I would love if they would sell BioWare, even if it went to somebody like Bethesda, not Bethesda Games, you know, Bethesda Publishing. Or actually, they probably wouldn't. Would they buy them since they're technically owned by Xbox now? Wouldn't it be Xbox buying them? Even if it was someone like that is like questionable at best when it comes to like, you know, closing studios and shit, it would be at least a little bit better than EA, especially if they do get bought by Saudi Arabia. While games like FC 26 and Battlefield 6 are huge successes, they're also massive investments for smaller returns when compared to the mobile slop that makes up more than half of the games industry's $2 billion value. You have to remember, though, they do have Madden Mobile, and I'm sure they have a football mobile game. I would imagine. I don't know, though, because I'm not into football like that, at least not right now. The deal will certainly face lengthy scrutiny around the world, just as we saw with Microsoft's $67 billion buyout of Activision Blizzard King, although it could have a far easier ride in the US. While the FTC fought hard against the Microsoft deal, all bets are off under Trump. The Kushner's investment could certainly help grease the wheels. Yeah, definitely. From the shareholders' perspective, however, EA is a company that's stalled and lacked for enough big hits in recent years and hasn't looked likely to turn things around for a long time. This is an opportunity to get out with a big profit, no matter the human cost nor the company's future. Yeah, that could be another thing is they're like, yeah, we have like really our hits are sports games and everything else has kind of flopped other than Battlefield 6. So let's fucking sell this company off right now while it's still worth something and just get out, wipe our hands clean. I want to clean and cook all day for dommy mommy male wife. God, why can't the gender roles be swapped? Yeah, I want to stay at home and cook and clean, bro. I don't want to do this shit no more. I don't want to do this photography and fucking streaming shit. Fuck it all. What are the comments? From shareholders' perspectives, however, EA is a company that's stalled and lack. Yeah, so the last thing. A problem created by the very shareholder now complaining about how EA isn't living up to their expectations. There are wildly unrealistic and actively detrimental expectations. Yeah, dude. And this goes back to me saying that shareholders really ruin companies, you know? Look at a good company like Steam, like an overall good company like that. Not owned by shareholders. They get to do whatever the fuck they want, which is why I think they've innovated and been able to stay at the top of their game. Unlike Epic Games, who are pushing hard for AI slop and have a absolutely atrocious launcher, even though I will collect all of their games, like Pokemon. And now they get a bunch of free money and can leave the smoldering corpse to completely die from what they did. Yeah, exactly. I'll never waste money on a game they make ever again. I'm sure plenty of people will, though, and they will continue to be a blight on gaming for many years to come. Yeah, it really is, bro. Like, the thing is, it's all their sports games keeping them propped up. If it, like, think about it. If it wasn't for FIFA, Madden, and college football, what the fuck would EA have right now? Battlefield 6, that's it. They don't have Star Wars games anymore. Your AI slop sickens me. Yeah, literally, bro. Which, you know, that is coming as well. They are going to absolutely rev up the AI slop. They're going to try, especially when they're making cuts and shit. I only play Roblox, so I'm out of this combo. Oh, gosh. It's kind of ironic. They want women to stay at home, but they also killed single income housing. Oh, yeah, or households. You're talking about, like, a lot of the Republican leaders right now? Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's a shame that so many, so many. Hold on, let me think for a second here. Let me pull Dr. K. Yeah, it's a shame that so many of these conservative, like, think tanks are funded by, like, billionaires who want to flip the narrative for conservatives. Because, like, even talking to my dad, who's older, talking about, like, what Republicans used to be, even though I might not like particularly completely what they used to stand for, it was a lot better than what it is now. The, like, Trumpism of conservative politics. It really is a shame, dude. At all mods, kill everyone. Yeah, real.